Cheating story. Hello all. I wanted to share my story about my ex cheating on me. It kind of has a wholesome end to it. This was a tough one for a while to deal with, but time healed the wounds from it. Essentially, things felt like it was a happily ever after before she had to go away for a work trip and ended up with her ex. I will post the full story here too because it's good for me even still to get this off my chest even though a few years have passed now. So, I am 24 at the time. Met my ex-girlfriend, F25 at the time, at a bar one night when we were bout out with groups of our friends. Her and I hit it right off and exchanged numbers. Before long, we were texting regularly and an item not long after that. I had dated a fair bit before her, but we really clicked. I actually had that feeling of the one for the first time ever. We had a ton in common, got along famously, had similar goals in life, and just really enjoyed each other's company. For her, she had dated a fair bit before me too. When we got to the talks of exes, and there was one that kept coming up, let's call him Ethan. She talked about how she thought he was the one before, but he was a dick to her, left her a couple of times, and was well liked by her family or friends. I could tell she had an infatuation with him, as she had mentioned moving on, but he would always weasel his way back in. She assured me, though, that he was gone for good, and she had long blocked him everywhere. That gave me a sigh of relief, but deep down I just had a feeling. Fast forward 9 months, things are going really well, and we are not looking at getting our first apartment together. We are zeroing in on a couple of places and are getting ready to make offers. I already had my own place, and she was still with her parents, but was practically living at my place at this point. We just wanted to get more space and a place that was truly ours. One day she comes home from work and says, "The craziest thing happened. Remember my ex, Ethan? He got hired in the sales department of my company." My stomach dropped when I heard that. She worked in the operations department of her company, and I knew that they worked closely with sales for projects. She had started working there a few months prior, and I would like to think it was completely by chance, but you never know. I asked her if this was going to be a problem. She said no, she would be avoiding him, but felt that time has passed and they could be professional together. I did not have a good feeling about it, but she assured me it would be no issue, and if there was, she would look to move. This is when things started to change. At first it was small things. She would not want to meet for lunch as often. I used to hear from her throughout her day, and then it became an odd text here and there during the work days, but outside of work everything was fine. We were still getting along. I didn't notice her more preoccupied with her phone. I never checked it or anything like that, and she was still coming and going at regular times. She just kept saying it was getting busy at work when I pressed about her not engaging as much during the day. Fair point. Then the big one came. She came home and told me that the company was flying her team alongside sales and marketing to their head office for a few days for specialized systems training. I asked if everyone on all teams were going, and she said yes. I knew right then subconsciously that it was over. I was trying to play it cool, but inside I knew someone might happen here. I still gave it the benefit of the doubt, but told her I was concerned about her and him together away. She assured me nothing was coming of it. She had barely spoken with him, and it would be fine. Come the day of the trip, I drove her to the airport. It wasn't a long flight, but she texted me when she landed, and we had a Skype call from her hotel room. She said she going to dinner and for some drinks with the team later, and then we would talk again before her days started. That was the last time I spoke with her for the entire trip. She texted me when she got to the restaurant. Then it was radio silence for 3 whole days. I texted her asking how it was going. Nothing. I tried calling and got her voicemail. I just said I wanted to see how it was going. Nothing. She texted me once after 2 days that she was fine and just swamped. Tired when she finished up and would call me before she left. She didn't. Come the day of her return home, I text her saying if she wants me to pick her up from the airport, she needs to let me know, otherwise I won't be there. I was so pissed at this point. I get things come up and you were busy, but I just felt like something was going on deep down. I never heard from her. I finally text her that I was going to be at my place, and it would be nice to see her when she gets back. I tried to keep myself calm, but just knew that something was up. A few hours go by, and then all of a sudden the door opens. She comes in and starts saying how much she missed me. I asked her how she got back from the airport. She says a friend drove me here. I asked if it was Ethan, and she said maybe. At this point I am enraged, but still keeping me calm with her. I told her I think something was going on with them while she was gone, and I want to know the truth now. She kind of stares off blankly and then starts crying. She says yes it did. She said at first it was good intentions, and she had no plans to see him, but they got talking when the team was at the bar, and then one thing lead to another, and she was back in his hotel room with him balls deep in her. She then said they were pretty much fucking the entire time they were at the company head office, which is why I never heard from her. She tried to defend herself, saying he was her one that got away, and this provided her some closure. None of this made any sense to me. She then told me she got it out of her system and it would not happen again. I told her that she is still working with the guy, so there is no way it's over there. I told her it's over for us, though, and she had 24 hours to get her shit out of my place. She begged and pleaded to stay, but I wouldn't have it. She eventually left, and within a month was dating her ex again officially. No surprise there. They actually seemed to make it work and got married not long after too. Good for them. Happy ending, I suppose. It messed with me for a long time, and I had a hard time trusting people again. Eventually I moved on too, and it was all for the best. Sorry if it's long. I like to write and can get carried away, haha.